Minister, the community of rural Ireland continue to struggle with the disparity of the two-tier recovery, which has been presided over by successive Fine Gael-led governments during the past 8 years. Rural Ireland delivered a very clear message to Fine Gael following the 2016 general election, as the people stated in no uncertain terms that the so-called recovery was not being felt in the regions. The people of rural Ireland face a litany of problems in their daily lives, with stripped-down services, bank closures, post office and Garda station closures, and the ever-present threat of rural crime. We are simply not in the same ballpark as the cities when it comes to service provision, substandard infrastructure and basic support. At a recent event in Carlow, which Vodafone and Cyro were launching their latest gigabit hub as part of an initiative to roll out remote working hubs in the south east, data is revealed which showed that 20,000 commuters leave Carlow, Kilkenny and Wexford a day to travel to work in Dublin. 22,000 every day in their cars and buses and trains go from those three counties to Dublin. I think that's an important statistic. You can be certain that this is a common trend in many other counties that are situated within an hour or two of Dublin, and I have 2 points to make on this. The first is the need for additional capacity on our rail and bus services, which accommodate commuters in their daily trip to and from the capital. We also need to ensure that there are adequate broadband services on these methods of travel to allow our commuters the opportunity to make their commute more productive, be it getting ahead of the days, emails or researching a presentation they may have to make later that day, and so on. The second point I make in this is I took a drive through Eden in County Offaly recently for the first time in years. I was very encouraged to see something of a rejuvenated town centre. Previously boarded up shop fronts and abandoned buildings were now bustling new business such as food outlets and small niches and business, shops and business. And this is due to the work in Dublin and they're bringing something back to the area. We are in the midst of a rental and housing crisis, and I believe that people who find themselves priced out of the Dublin house market are flocking to our so-called commuter towns and villages. Again, this reinforces the need for additional capacity on our rail and bus services to be addressed, but it also represents an opportunity for commuter towns in rural Ireland to attract more people, increase population and boost their local economies. This is something the government should seek to capitalise upon. This leads me on to my next point. Of course, it would be better if we had less people commuting to Dublin from rural areas for work, but this is not the current reality. We do not have equal employment opportunities in our regional towns and villages for young working parents and families who in turn are forced to spend 2, 3 or 4 additional hours a day away from their young children travelling to and from work. Infrastructure is the key factor here. We will never revitalise our rural towns and villages unless they have an equal platform of broadband and connectivity services which they can rely upon. We cannot encourage a person to set up or expand a business in their locality and create jobs with their competitors in Dublin or Cork, which are streets ahead simply because they can avail of decent broadband and phone signals. And I have this on a regular basis. People who want to live in my own parish came to me lately, asked me, what's the speed broadband down there? And because it wasn't there, and they were working in Dublin, which they could do their business from home, they were told, they said, we can't build until we get the speed broadband. So it's very important to rural Ireland that we get broadband rolled out as soon as possible. A recent PQ response from yourself, Minister Ring, revealed that in Carlow alone, which is not a huge county in terms of surface area, there are 36 mobile phone black spots in a small county like Carlow. We have to facilitate enterprise and entrepreneurship in our rural towns and villages. But this is what creates jobs and stimulates local economies. People employing, working and spending in their locality is what develops a region. Broadband is the key here. No matter what way you spend it, the National Broadband Plan has been an unmitigated disaster. Over 500,000 people, 500,000 people, rural households and business will still have to wait up to 2003 at the earliest for state intervention to receive moderate speed broadband. Over 10 years on from when the National Broadband Plan was first launched in 2012. Rural SMEs are also being crippled by excessive commercial rates and unpayable premiums from business insurance. The government has taken a snail's pace approach to these issues, in particular by commissioning report after report and setting up various working groups which are nothing more than toothless tigers. And I ask you, Minister, I think it's time for rates to be looked at again. There are a lot of people being crippled with rates at this stage. It should be based not alone on square metres, but on turnover and our ability to pay. And I think the rate system is outdated, and you as a government should look at this. And I know if our party comes in some government in the next couple of years, that we will do that, and that we look at rates again and have a better, fairer system for the SMEs of this country to keep them going. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.